programmers! I want to talk about some of the common mistakes when you're setting up your app icons in Unity. And these are mistakes that I've made or my students have made. And I'll start with no app icon was specified at all. So this was my students had released their first Android app and they used Unity to build it, and they spent hours coming up with a really cool app icon image and dragged it into Unity, but when they released the app, they were surprised that the icon was just the default Unity symbol icon that comes up if you haven't specified any app icon. So let me first open Unity, and from here, you're going to go under File and Build Settings. And the build settings menu looks something like this. It's where you would specify iOS or Android. And then in the bottom left corner, there's a player settings. So go to player settings, and then there is a section icon right at the beginning, either both for your iOS and your Android. And so if you have never looked in this section on Unity, you're probably going to have nothing specified as your icon. So that would be the problem. When you expand this out, there's 3 different types of icons. The most important ones for modern apps is these adaptive icons. So if you have nothing there, if you have nothing in all 3 of these sections, then you're going to get this default Unity app when you try to release. Okay, what about another common error? And this one's definitely happened to me. And looking at all the apps on my son's Android phone, I can see many other companies are having the same problems. So the Slither.io and this Lens, Unity Remote, and the Balloon Tower Defense battles, they're all having the problem where they have taken the time to make an app icon, but what they made is square, and when the adaptive icons are used, then it ends up putting this square image with inside of this white background, and it really doesn't look very good. It's hard to see what's going on. So the problem with that would be, let me go back to Unity, if somebody specified just the legacy icons or the legacy and the round icons, these are all for API 25 and below, and that's no longer used by most of the phones. Now you would want to specify something in the adaptive icons section. So based on the problem with my app, I now made this change where I'm specifying for each of these sizes the background, and this needs to be an image that has no transparency, and then the foreground is actually the icon, the interesting part about your app icon. So we're specifying that for these different sizes, and then so just yesterday I dragged these different backgrounds and foregrounds into Unity, and I did another build, and I got one step farther in the process, and one improvement is now the app icon looks better. It is able to have it without that white circle, but now my problem is I've got bad cropping. I need my important image to be a little smaller and in the center of my icon, because with the adaptive icons, it's going to crop it, and sometimes on some phones it'll turn all the icons into circles. Some phones it might turn them all into squares or ovals or something. So we don't really have control over how it's going to crop it. So putting the important part of that image in the center of this icon would be the next thing that I would do to improve the app icon. So those are the mistakes I've made, and hopefully you can avoid those mistakes when you release your first app. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested in seeing more videos, go ahead and click here to subscribe.